All right, so I'm gonna try to do a video on medical aspects of resilient living. What to carry, what I carry, and it's different levels. And again, in these days and times, it's good to carry some medical gear, be up on your at least CPR, and basic first aid. Red Cross has a nice course online. I think it's like $35. Not too expensive, and it just gives you the basics. Something is better than nothing. Okay, so this is my basic pack that I carry in my car, plus a CPR respirator, plus a tourniquet attached to it. Okay, and I'm just going to give you some ideas. I'm not going to go through everything in the pack, and I'm not going to try to cover every base because that's not what this video is about, but to give you some ideas. Okay, first off, let me share with you where you can go to get some good knowledge on survival medicine. Okay, and this book is Survival Medicine Handbook by Dr. Joseph Alton and Amy Alton, who is a nurse practitioner, and his wife, I believe. And this book is thick. It's covering anxiety and depression, fractures, hemorrhaging wounds, all kinds of stuff, and dislocations. And this book is about, that's including the index, is 650 some odd pages. Again, it's worth at least a once through, but it might be something good to have at least in your house, if not, on the road if you're planning a long trip. They also have a good website, which I'll post below, that gives you like a whole, basically you could create your own kind of medic room in your own house or out camping, and they sell the products as well, so you can get a complete trauma-based medicine bag for I think like $1,000 is kind of the more like elite one, and that covers dental stuff and eye injuries as well. So anyways, good to have some resources to draw back on. I've also gotten there, he also sells a book for antibiotics and infectious diseases, again because of what's been going on. Oh, and he signed it, and they both signed it, which is nice of them. But yeah, it just, if you want to understand the basics of antibiotics and what infectious diseases are, this is a very good book. And again, you can get this book on their channel as well. Now, I fancy myself to be a primitive technologist, but I'm also a pragmatist. So, meaning, I'm going to have, in an emergency situation as far as health is concerned, I'm going to have, the basics, or at least know the basics to try to get from point A to point B, or to stabilize myself or somebody else if I need to. We'll talk about that later. But I have a bunch of books. I'm into primitive tech. One is the Home Remedies Handbook, Over 1,000 Ways to Heal Yourself, by Renner, MD, and the Consumer Health Information Research Institute. And so this is it's got some illustrations in it. This is a good book. It's called talking about conjunctivitis, like if you got sand in your eyes, or that feeling, diarrhea, genital herpes, incontinence, meaning you can't hold it in, as far as number 2, shaving discomfort even. So this is about a 400 page book. Comes in very handy. I have also the book of herbal wisdom, using plants as medicines, by Matthew Wood. Matthew Wood is a very famous, very well known and respected herbalist in the herbalism community. Alright, so it's good to know your plants and how to use them and how to synthesize and make medicine. Speaking of, one of my go-tos that I love this book, the Herbal Medicine Maker's Handbook, a home manual by James Green, author of The Male Herbal, which is very good. that someone is talking or about and discussing about male issues and how to deal with them using herbalism. So that's good. And he just basically shows you how to make medicine from scratch. You know, salves, tinctures, infusions, oil infusions, water infusions, decoctions, all kinds of stuff. We've got some pictures in here too. And this is about a 400-page book as well, and this is one of my go-tos for making medicine. Okay, love this book and highly suggested. And then lastly, and I've got more in my library, I have a bit of a library of books related to this subject, is how Indians or Native Americans use wild plants for food, medicine, and crafts. So by Francis Dinsmore. So this will be a good book to have, you know, so that you can get an Aboriginal a point of view and aspect on how Native peoples used and applied the flora and their surroundings to heal themselves and to get better. So as a foundation, I would implore you to at least get the basics, the core basics, on the use of plants from a medicinal standpoint, and then learn how to use those plants to make your own medicines. And that would be a good start, especially when there's no medical help on the way or nearby, or going to be soon. All right. So yeah, these are some books that I have that I use as a reference point. All right, as far as references that I'm going to share in this video, lastly, this Panteo Productions has a good DVD. It says the title is Make Ready with Doc Spears Combat Lifesaver. So basically, this is dealing with extreme trauma in a turbulent situation, all right? And it's basically Combat Lifesaver is an introduction to the principles of tactical combat casualty care, particularly in the care under fire portion of the doctrine. All right, so this is again, it's Panteo Productions. You might want to check them out. They're online, and this is a very it's actually quite long too, and it's thorough. But he's very thorough. But what Doc Spears has been able to share has allowed me to shore up my preps as far as medical needs are concerned. Okay, so I'm going to share some of those. All right, so those of you that have followed me on my channel here, I'm affiliated with the Art Syndicate, with the Prepared Mind. Shout out to Big John. And the preparedmind.club, where you can get a lot of this gear and other medical needs. But what Big John's mantra is food, water, shelter, medicine, a means of self-defense, and a plan. And so we're focused kind of on the medicine aspect of that particular mantra, which I like, and it does make sense. Now, mostly this is going to be mobile, but in the terms of far as what you keep in your car. And you can't pack up your car if you're just going to the store, just doing day-to-day, from work to work, yada, yada, yada. You know, you don't want to keep an old Trauma 3 kit in your car, because it's expensive. And if your car gets broken into and someone takes your stuff, then now you got to replace it, yada, yada. So this is just basically what I'm focusing on in my little kit. Basically the kind of the smaller stuff that would be useful. However, in my go bag, I do keep some things that are a little bit more extensive. And this is you know, a lot of suggestion from this DVD series, which has been very helpful. So like, for example, like I've got these halo seals. Okay, so this is basically, these are seals, or a seal for chest wounds. Okay, and you know, I keep this in my go bag. All right, I might be able to kind of flatten this down and keep it in my car, but the weather can be a bit touchy, and I believe these are they may have petroleum jelly, or they need adhesion, and if they're frozen they might not work. I'm not sure about that, but something to think about. Again, if you get this DVD series, this will help you figure out what it is that you need to put on your go bag, or your get home bag, and what to keep in your car. Okay, based on medical need or situational needs. All right, so next, you know, incidentally, I have a daughter, and I have an extra group of feminine pads here, and these are also in case we're out and about and she's going through her courses. At least we have something extra. Just being real. The other part of it is that these make good clot and good wound suppressors for a major wound. So even if you don't have females in your group, or you know, you're just a single dude or whatever, you know, you might want to pick up, you know, some maxi pads or some stay free pads for they're good for, that's what they do, they suck up wound juices, if you will. Have some of these extra. Now this bag here, now notice I have these plastic bags. These plastic bags can always be reusable or usable. And so I've got some bleed stop. I've got an extra tourniquet in here. I've got some antibiotics for my fish, because I like to keep my fish along with me in case of survival situation. I've got some extra personal meds. I've got medications that I've made. I've got suturing equipment. I've also got some, what are these here? Off camera. Okay, some Vaseline petroleum gauze strips. So we've got, you know, just wound care equipment here. In here, you know, this is for open up the nasal passages. What do they call this? An airway opener here. It comes with the lubricant and some potassium iodide. So just some ideas, you know, and again, a lot of this I'm getting from this book here. You know, now problem is you got to kind of practice these things, and they are spendy based on what it is that you can afford. And then a lot of these antibiotics I've labeled for my fishies, so I have them with me in these little cute little antibiotic containers, you know, so on and so forth. Yeah, just to make sure that my fishies are good and taken care of. I've got iodine tablets to disinfect water if I need to. Surgilock here, and gloves, obviously. So a lot of the, and this is, again, this usually, you know, you can keep in your car, depending on the size of your car, so, you know, or depending on the situation. A lot of this normally is just for me, for my go bag. I've got tick pullers, you know, and when the weather breaks, gonna need those, especially if you're trouncing out in the woods. I freaking hate ticks. This jar here is actually filled with my some of the medicines that I made from plantain and yarrow specifically. So, you know, this is a salve that works very, very well. So I keep that in here. So this is more for kind of a permanent, kind of going to be away for a while, kind of compartmentalization, or or unit. And again, if you have health issues, you want to keep your medications at least 2 weeks in your go bag or in your kit for your car, and those of anybody else in your family. Okay, so like I said, this could be, I could make a DVD or excuse me, a video, that could expand, an hour and a half, just talking about all the different things you could have. Heck, it could be even more. It just depends on the situation. A lot of it's just having the basics, and some of those basics are making sure that you have the medications that you need for your family members, even your pets, and such things, and having those as backup. Sometimes your doctor will be able to prescribe you 3-4 months out, and if you're good about it, you can kind of save or kind of squirrel away some of your extra medications so that you have some in a grid down situation. Let's see here. We'll talk about having a suture kit. And I did a video on that with my daughter and I, practicing suturing, and we probably need to do it some more. And this is a cool kit. Here's a suture practice kit. And it's basically got the pieces that I need, including kind of a cool little false piece of flesh here that we've worked on. And I've already shared this in a previous video. And there's some sutures here that we worked on, or that I've worked on, and different types of wounds. And then they have a nice card here showing you the different stitches you can do. Again, I've already covered this. I'm not going to go into great detail with it, but depending on your group or who you have in your family, you yourself and somebody, or at least 2 other people, should know how to suture, because they will be the ones that will be able to get to the areas that have been lacerated that you can't not get at. All right, and so it's good to have at least two others, one more. These are the tools that come with it, which are pretty freaking cool. It wasn't that expensive. I mean, just to practice, and to have that at least peace of mind. And here comes some pads here that I could apply alcohol to. It also comes with the different types of sizes of thread that already has a hook or a curved needle attached. So it's all kind of one complete when you buy these. And you get them on Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive. When it comes to suturing, you can have it just depends on the type of laceration, and those deep lacerations, you will need the thread that will dissolve. Okay, again, I'll post a link below, but I've already talked about kind of the whole suturing aspect of this. It's not, I don't want to go into it with this video because that's not what it's for. But good to know, good to have. Next, okay, all this covers some cleanliness things here. So I have some, wet wipes. I've got tissues. I've got hotel soap from the hotel. Toothbrush, toothpaste, just general cleanliness type of stuff, because it does help morale, especially in your rough situation and you've been unclean for a couple of days and you finally get to a place where you can at least get some water dumped on you, or get a shower, or do a sink bath, or as they say, a whole bath. Won't get into that, but you can wash yourself over a sink. At least you can, you have some soap and some tissues and some things. And then these are disinfected. antibacterial wet wipes. And so yeah, it's good to have some of that as well, you know, just to make yourself. Next, let's talk about what I have in my med kit. So I ordered this online, which is the CPR resuscitator mask. This, I ordered a few of them, and this is kind of handy dandy for if you're trying to apply CPR to someone who you don't know, and you don't know, you're not trying to get their cooties. I'm just be outright about it. You're not trying to get their cooties. Comes with an instruction booklet. Comes with an alcohol pad to disinfect you components. Some gloves. And then here's the mask that you cover the other person's face, and then you blow into a tube and you resuscitate them, okay, while you're doing your CPR procedures, okay. So I have one of these, just, you know, again, if you're trying to help, be a good Samaritan, trying to help somebody that you don't know, they're foaming at the mouth, and all that greasy goodness. Next, I've got, you know, and this is just the way my bag is configured. I got a tourniquet that I can attach to it. And these tourniquets, they come with the instructions on how to apply it. I may go through that later, at a later date. But it's important when you apply a tourniquet to give the time, you know, so you might have to kind of adjust the pressure on the tourniquet or release the tourniquet so that the limb doesn't go dead, because it still needs blood flow from time to time. So this is nice, and you must practice with these or get familiar with these. I don't have a partner right now, but later as a quickie, I may go through how these apply, at least the kind that I get. A band-aid can apply as a tourniquet. Your shamag or handkerchief can be a tourniquet. Your belt, your any kind of strap or something, band, you know, a rubber band can be a tourniquet. You don't need to buy anything special like this, you know, especially, you know, resources are short. You don't need to, and you're trying to build your med kit, you don't need to do all that. Just make sure you have some sort of cordage that you can apply to keep unnecessary loss of blood. This is going to wrestle with me right now. It's going to wrestle. It's like, I don't like you. I'm wrestling. Fine. You can wrestle. Alright. Okay. So on the outside of my bag, as you can possibly see, I got a bunch of carabiners. Okay, and these are extra. I can transfer them to other carrying systems and things like that. That's why they're hooked on here. Again, if you're trying to be stealthy, it make a lot of noise. So this is not really built for stealth. On this, I keep a bottle opener in case it's necessary to open this type of bottle. Those pesky bottles that have those caps that you can't just twist off. So just a regular old bottle opener. On this, I also have a tick extractor, which could be handy, especially when the weather is much warmer and you're trouncing about in the woods. So now we're going to open this thing up a little bit. We're going to take a peek in what I might have in here. Alright, so first off, in this compartment here, I have a whistle, I have extra rubber bands, I have a flashlight, I have with the safety pins, I have an extra multi-tool in here, and I have extra batteries, both AA and AAA batteries. So So that's what I'm keeping in here as extra. So this is nice little tweezers to have. Again, talking about those maxi pads, so this will help. Plus I got some gauze that came with the kit. This blue rubber band here is extra material or tool for tourniquet. Up in here I've got all kinds of just band-aids and antiseptic wipes. Okay, there's tons of those. I've got an extra fishing kit in here just in case, and one of those little pole saws. All right, if I need to use a small pole or cut down a small tree sapling or something. Gloves, extra gloves here. I'm kind of caught up. And again, rubber bands that come in handy, as you can see. Swabs. I have bandage scissors, and then this cool little thing that provide me some cordage in a real situation, a rough situation, plus a compass. Okay, so nice little, everything helps. I think it came with the kit. Up here, I have extra plastic bags. Now, when I build a kit, and this is more of a med kit, but let's say we're talking about a get home bag or what I'm keeping in my car for emergency uses, or what will go in a go bag, is I'm using the cover combustion carry cutting cordage system. So I'm making sure I have something to cut with. All right, I've got extra carry. I have the ability with the batteries for combustion. Cordage is covered here. Okay, so that's a good, I like that. The 5 C's is a good way to go when you're trying to figure out what to put in an emergency pack. Now again, I like to double up, so a lot of this stuff would be doubling up in my car as well, or a go bag or a get home bag. Again, 1 is none, 2 is 1, at least. Right, so I have all these extra medical amenities and extra packs here. Nothing real exciting, kind of already covered it. But again, I got triangular bandage here for making for head bandages or elbow wraps and such like that. So, and then of course I can put some of my salve in here that works wonders in a pinch, which I actually did have in here, but something happened when I made this kit. Actually, I bought this kit and I added to it, and I gave that extra canister to my daughter because she needed it, and she didn't have anything, and it was a situation. It was a situation, so I gave it to her. So I have to recoup. But all in all, that's just kind of a quick review of what I've got going on with my mobile med kit. I would love to have the opportunity to do like a wilderness survival medical training opportunity. I know REI, which is a local outdoor chain, offers such things, but I work a full time, so they're talking like 40 hours or something like that. It's like I'm not trying to use all my vacation just to kind of do that, but I think it is something worthwhile. So I may pursue that sometime in the future, but yeah, there you go. It's just to give you some ideas, hopefully not terribly boring, but I hope I give you, like I said, I'm just sharing. From a resilient standpoint, I'm not a medical expert. So I'm not going to go into the specifics of things. I'm only using what I know works for me and in certain scenarios that I've been in that have helped. So I implore you to get your own research and find your own professional medical personnel to consult with to figure out what will work best for you.